What is up? Most of you guys watching this video will probably know me from my main YouTube channel, where for many years this microphone was an iconic piece of equipment on screen all the time. There were people who made videos making fun of me and praising me and laughing about the fact that I was always the guy holding this mic. I can even remember I once did a Skype call with my daughter. My daughter is now 5 years old. She was probably 3 years old then. And in the middle of the call, she said to me, "I have a question." What is your ball? So I was really known for using this microphone on camera. And I was not known for high sound quality in my videos. I was known for the iconic appearance of this mic, but I was not getting a lot of email praising the sound quality, neither in my videos nor in my podcasts made using this mic. So this is a somewhat famous mic called the Snowball. Many YouTubers use it, many podcasters use it, and many people try to do a little bit better by using a pop filter. And in this video, I'm going to compare and contrast this to two other microphones that I've got in my hands and on site right now. This is the Meteor from Samson. So the name of the microphone is Meteor, not to be confused with Meteorite. That's a separate mic. And the Røde mic, which I think is actually pronounced Røde, but everyone pronounces it Rode, R-O-D-E, but it is not an English name. And it's their USB mic, which they now call the NT-USB. I think this review will apply to all of the Rode low-end USB-based microphones, which is what I'm recording in now. So there's several criteria to consider. These mics are for people who want better sound quality than they would get with the microphone that's built into their computer or built into their camera, built into their phone, whether that's for YouTube videos or Skype conversations or podcasts or whatever you're doing. But they do not want the investment or the mess or equipment of using genuinely high-end sound recording technology, because it also takes up space, people, once you get into the higher quality sound recording equipment. So first and foremost about this mic, about the Meteor mic, if you were picking this out in a store, in a shop, I think almost everyone would choose this mic. I didn't. I purchased it on the internet, which is what most of you people are going to do, and that's probably why you're watching this video. The industrial design and the aesthetics of this thing are incredibly appealing. So if you just watch, when you close up the legs, they snap into position beautifully. And they don't close too quickly or too easily. The hinge is beautiful. The industrial design is beautiful. It reflects light in a beautiful way. Even the feeling of this switch is fantastic. And the way the plug fits into it is also excellent. I mean, it's incredibly pleasing in the hand. It's pleasing to the eye. It's rugged and durable. In terms of the exterior aesthetics of the industrial design, this is clearly the winner. And it's one of the most pleasing factory-made objects I can remember buying externally. If I could return this for a refund, I would have done so already. The sound quality is not good enough, period. And the worst thing about it is that it's inconsistent. So I think about one recording out of 20, the sound quality from this was good, by which I just mean good enough. And I was pleased. And I was really paying attention to the distance of the microphone from my mouth, the position of it relative to the computer. Was there something behind it causing a little bit of echo? During those test sessions, during my first 20 or 40 recordings with this, I was paying very close attention. But the ultimate judgment on this is very, very simply not good enough. I have no idea what the issues are. Maybe it's because the creator of this, Samson, they just didn't figure out a way to fit all the components into this very small housing. You can see they have very, very little space to deal with compared to the amount, the volume of air inside the Snowball mic. It is just a very small microphone, but let me tell you something. The decisions they made do not work. This is not very simply, it is not good enough. So, gorgeous design. Maybe at some point in the future, this will be a brand to watch. But in 2018 or 2019, in the sternest words possible, I urge you not to pick up the Samson Meteor. And very simply, I mean, it's the harshest judgment I can offer on it. From my perspective, it is non-functional. It is not a piece of equipment I use, or it's a piece of equipment I actively avoid using. I'm going to try to get some value out of it by using it as a travel mic because it is portable. But every time I use it on the road, I know I'll be frustrated. I know I'll be disappointed. I wish I could return it and get a refund, and I can't. That is my judgment on the Samson Meteor. Beautiful, not functional. I reviewed that one first because the Snowball has okay, for one thing, just a note here. Microphones are not durable. Absolutely, by definition, just the passage of time and use, they will get worn out and stop working well. So over time, this microphone performed worse and worse, and that's okay. My opinion is not based on that fact. You probably shouldn't expect a microphone to last more than 3 years. Not if you're using it regularly. And of course, things like dropping the mic, impacts the mic are part of it, but it's also just part of the normal use and aging of the microphone. It's not impervious to age and wear and tear in terms of the components inside that are expected to be quite delicate and respond to the sound of your voice. It's supposed to pick up, ultimately, very fine vibrations on the air. That's what sound is, right? So you can't expect it to last forever. However, this microphone, very simply, you are not going to get good performance 100% of the time, but it is much, much better. The hit-to-miss ratio is much better, infinitely better, if you like, than the Samson Meteor mic. I had a lot of experience. I have many hundreds of recordings with this. I can't even estimate, because I have over 1,000 videos on this YouTube channel, and then I also did podcasts and other formats that aren't on YouTube. In that huge number of recordings, the main thing you really learn to watch for is the distance of the microphone to your mouth. So this is, in a sense, why it is a bad microphone for YouTube, because really, to get the best performance out of it, you both need a pop filter, and you do need the mic to be quite close to your mouth. I believe the official guideline is 6 inches, but you can experiment for yourself and see when it is that it really does pick up your voice well and doesn't have a lot of self-noise or noise outside it being picked up. It needs to be quite close to your mouth. And I managed this by just holding it, to look decent on camera. I would always hold it in my hand so that it was close to my mouth but wasn't obstructing the camera in a bad way. Other people cope with it in other ways. So if you're doing on-camera recordings, whether that's YouTube or Skype, in many ways it kind of is a poor choice. Otherwise, again, very iconic industrial design. The reason why this is so popular is that for most people, it is good enough, but I think most reviewers will agree with me that it is not objectively good. And in terms of the hit-to-miss ratio, let's say even 3 times out of 5, I was satisfied with the sound. I think in the early days that was true, and then the mic got worse over time as it got worn out. When the sound is poor, and you're just left baffled. Why did that recording go poorly? And you're looking at, for me at least, I look at the distance of the mic, I look at all the little factors surrounding it that could have resulted in the problem. And it's frustrating. So that's ultimately what justifies people making the decision to buy a slightly more expensive mic. So again, this is what is commonly called in English Rode, R-O-D-E. Not the correct pronunciation, but hey, they're making money so they don't mind. This microphone, absurdly, is the exact opposite problem or situation. This microphone gives you significantly better sound at any distance and with any setup. The distance from your mouth, like if I record very close to my mouth or further away, this is a big step up in audio quality from the other 2 microphones. But guess what the trade-off is? The functionality of the design, the exterior housing and setup, is terrible. It's very, very difficult to get this to stand in its own tripod. It comes with an asymmetrical tripod. Just showing you that on camera now. It comes with this kind of slick-looking asymmetrical tripod that almost induces it to fall over constantly. And this is heavy enough that having it fall over and slam on its side, or having it fall off your desk and slam on the floor, that's going to add to the wear and tear. Now, obviously, if you want to spend several $100s and have a mount for it, a professional bracket for it, there are ways to compensate for this. The size and shape of the microphone is not suited to having in your hand. The way the plug fits into the bottom of the microphone, it very much limits what you can do with it. By contrast, by the way, the Meteor right here, you can see your USB cable fits into the back on the side, so there's a lot that you can do with it. It can sit flat on its bottom. It can be mounted and cope with in various ways. You could hold this in your hand. The exterior housing of the Rode mic is a constant source of frustration and disappointment. And if you want to pack this up and travel with it, it is going to take up a lot of space in your suitcase. It is not going to be practical to use at all. So guys, that's it. If you want what you call a low-end USB microphone, relatively inexpensive, but that's genuinely good enough for YouTube, podcasting, Skype, 21st century digital communications and social media, one of the best options you can go for right now are the USB mics, the low-end NT-USB mics from Rode. In terms of audio quality alone, judging just audio quality, it is by far the winner at this price level. However, there are other criteria that I think everyone in their life has to consider. Portability, and even just how well the format works on the surface of your desk in your day-to-day life. And in all of those ways, this particular mic really is a letdown. For 2018, 2019, that's my vote. I hope that industrial design at all three of these manufacturers continues to move forward. There's a pretty limited set of criteria they're working within here in terms of producing a product that the mass market wants. People who are not professional musicians, not professional radio broadcasters, our needs are modest, and yet in some ways those needs are flexible. And I think it's a struggle for people in the free market to meet them at a good enough price point. This is my new channel doing product reviews. Forage, rhymes with forage. You can click on the links in the description below this video if you want to see my main YouTube channel or the other stuff I've got online. My name is Eisel Mazard, broadcasting today from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I am out.